What up, what up, it's Dane. In this video I'm going to be telling you the best program to follow to maximize strength gains and muscle gain, right? More importantly, muscle gain, not so much strength gain. So let me tell you this, and I guarantee you, you've probably never had this information in your life. I guarantee you. Mainly because most people that, most people on this YouTube shit will tell you the same shit, but that's not true. But the most beliefs, right? So 6 meals a day, training one body part once a week, the bro split, stuff like this, right? I'm going to be telling you something completely different based on scientific research, all this shit, and it's going to allow you to maximize your muscle gain. So if you're serious about this shit, make sure to watch this video, right? I say this in some of my videos as well. It's called periodization. So if you already know this, I'm going to be telling you exactly why this shit works. So drop that, let's get into it. Periodization. So what actually is periodization, right? It basically says it in a word. You periodize the training blocks, right? So this is not just periodizing like what body part you hit or whatever like that. This is just periodizing your training in 3 steps, right? Or 3 groups even. Hypertrophy, which if you don't know is just increasing the muscle size, basically bodybuilding. Strength is basically powerlifting, and then the third factor is endurance, right? And there is a 4th one as well that I include, which is deload, right? So but that links in with endurance, but I'll explain why. So why does periodization work? Why has no one even been telling you about this? But like I said, make sure to watch this whole video so I'll tell you exactly why this shit works. I'm going to try and make it as quick as possible so you don't waste your time in your life watching this video, but you're probably not, because I'm going to provide some of the same value here, so stay tuned. So why does periodization work? First of all, like I said, you're working hypertrophy range, strength range, and endurance range. What you need to understand though is that muscles there's 2 types of muscle fibers, right? The type 1 muscle fibers and the type 2 muscle fibers. These muscle fibers are fast twitch and slow twitch, right? When you do, say for example, strength training or explosive training, you utilize the fast twitch muscle fibers, right? And when you do endurance training, you utilize the slow twitch muscle fibers. So with periodization, you're increasing both of these muscle fibers, right? And it's real important to know, and this I didn't really know this until long ago, and not many people do know this, and it's a very underrated subject, right? Not many people think the slow twitch muscle fibers can actually grow in size, right? Not many people know this, and they can. That's why you can still gain muscle of light weights. And you probably just said, what the hell is this guy talking about? Yeah, you can, trust me. I'm going to be telling you why this shit works. So like I said, there are 2 types of muscle fibers, fast twitch and slow twitch. Periodization, you increase the size of the muscle fibers in the fast twitch and slow twitch, which is really going to maximize your muscle gain. We're all about maximizing the muscle gain, right? Not just gaining muscle, maximizing all the growth. What I will say though is, with periodization, you're not gonna lift the most weight. You're not gonna be the strongest powerlifter going, right? Because you're going periodization, right? You're not just sticking to one thing like strength training. That's all I'm doing. That way, you're probably gonna be a really good powerlifter. By using periodization, you're gonna maximize your physique, right? You're just gonna make your physique the best it can look. So let's get more into the group. So that's more of like why I'm telling you how it works, right? The different types of muscle fiber. That's probably why it works. Probably the most important aspect, right? So I'm gonna explain a lot more, don't you worry. So hypertrophy, right? So we could do a cycle of hypertrophy as muscle growth is the priority here. We could do, and you can do this for strength training as well, right? So you instead of doing higher or more weeks for hypertrophy training, you could do more weeks for strength training. For example, you could do 8 weeks strength training, 4 weeks hypertrophy, right? That is prioritizing strength. But here we're about the muscle gain. So if you want to maximize your muscle gain periodization, I'm telling you, just try this shit. What have you got to lose? So anyway, group number 1 or whatever, the first thing I'm going to talk about is hypertrophy, right? So probably do a hypertrophy cycle of probably 6 to 8 weeks, or you could do 4 to 6 weeks, whichever. But I'd say 6 to 8 weeks hypertrophy cycle, as this is our main priority, right? Then after the hypertrophy cycle, this is like, you know, maximizing the muscle gain, working in a bit of higher rep ranges, 8 to 12, like the typical rep ranges, whichever one works best for you for muscle gain, right? This is again personal preference. And when doing the hypertrophy, the mindset is going to be mind muscle connection, chasing a pump, stuff like this, because like I said, the chasing a pump has got a lot of benefits to increasing muscle gain, but that's not all though, is it? That was a rhetorical question. I don't know why I said it. Okay, so now we do the hypertrophy cycle for like 6 to 8 weeks, right? We did a strength cycle. Typically, I would say a strength cycle is probably maybe about 4 weeks, right? 4 to 5 weeks, I'd say. Again, this is personal preference. Like, I'm just throwing out suggestions here. You can kind of customize the shit yourself. You can use some auto regulation. Like when you feel, okay, I've had enough strength training, let me go to other groups, right? Other types of training. So strength training, you're probably thinking, this guy just told me to maximize muscle gain and he's telling me to do strength training, right? Here's why. I'm going to use this analogy I use in most of my videos, and here it is. The cup of water, the famous holy grail cup of water that I use. So again, strength training, this is why you do it. For example, say you just train hypertrophy training, like 8 to 12 reps, moderate weight, and this is what's going to happen. So say this is the cup. After a while, you train the hypertrophy, 8 to 12 reps, blah 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 blah, moderate rep range. Then the cup becomes full, right? You're stuck on the same weight and you're stuck on the same rep range, right? So the cup will become full of water. After a while, the water will just overspill. So you're just gonna plateau. You're not gonna make any more gains, right? Muscle gain and even strength gain. So here's why you do strength training. Strength training basically will increase the cup of the water, the size of the cup. Sorry, my bad. So then that means more water can be filled to the top again. So this analogy sounds a bit cringy and probably cheesy and corny, but it works because I'm showing you that increasing your strength means that when you go back to your hypertrophy cycle, you're going to be able to lift more weight and still stick to that moderate rep range, right? Meaning more under tension and more load. So this is real important, right? Basically, the hypertrophy cycle is working metabolic stress, and the strength cycle is working mechanical tension. So metabolic stress and mechanical tension are the two primary factors to muscle growth and maximizing this shit. The third group is endurance slash deload, right? You can use this endurance phase as a deload because you're gonna work in real light loads and heavy reps, right? I'm sure you all know endurance. And like I said, this is targeting the slow twitch muscle fibers, unlike the hypertrophy and the strength training. Strength training utilizes more fast twitch than hypertrophy, but I won't get too much into that, right? So the endurance, that's doing slow twitch, right? So like I said, in order to maximize muscle gain, you need to train slow twitch and fast twitch, right? I'm just pissed off that no one's been telling people this shit, because a lot of people, they follow like their favorite bodybuilders, right? First of all, they taking steroids and they're not natural. So I don't understand why people even follow their splits, but anyway, I won't get too much into that. I'm going to be telling you what you need to know. So the endurance training, right? Very important. You're increasing the cell of the slow twitch muscle fiber, right? Maximizing muscle growth. Basically, like I said, is working light loads, probably how can I say, light loads and a repetition range between, you can even go like 20 to 30, even that high, right? This is endurance. Like I said, you could just use this as a deload week if you really want. So how many weeks should you do this for? Maybe about 2 weeks, right? Not too much. This is not our main priority, but you're still stimulating growth in the slow twitch muscle fiber, right? So anyway, I think I've covered everything. I think I've told you most things. I've used that analogy. Like I said, you have to increase your strength so the water can go, more size of the cup and shit like this. Mechanical tension, metabolic stress, and increasing the size of the type 1, the slow twitch muscle fibers is real important, right? I think to summarize again, the reason why I use periodization, man, to maximize muscle growth is because it's hitting all the aspects, right, in order to build on most muscle mass and optimize your physique. I think I've covered everything, but as always, if your diet and nutrition is not on point and your recovery, you won't be maximizing muscle gain at all as well. So make sure they're important. So anyway, that's how to maximize muscle gain and just get in great shape, just build the best body of your life, right? So I hope some other people tell you this shit as well, but like I said, this is not the only way and the only routine to build a great physique, right? There are some others, but in my opinion, I feel that this program hits all the aspects, right? This was periodization, but if you know me already, I like power building as well, because that way you're increasing the strength, and then the second part of the workout you're doing the bodybuilding phase as well. But this is about periodization, right? So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it useful, and as always, stay positive, stay smiling, and I'll see you in the next one.